watching News 12 live at 5 continues.
A community in mourning this evening after the announcement that Grovetown teacher Sonia Wells has died.
But it's just like, I just saw you what happened during that week, and it's just heartbreaking.
Absolutely heartbreaking. Wells was an English language arts teacher at Grovetown High School.
And this evening, we're learning more about just how many lives she's touched in our community.
Our Nick Veland is live in our newsroom. And Nick, walk us through how people are remembering her.
Yeah, well, Grovetown High School students came back from break today mourning the loss of one of their own, and the community is responding on social media, making it known that Sonia Wells did for every... She was a teacher who her students say always went the extra mile as a teacher at Grovetown. She also was the junior varsity cheer coach and assistant girls basketball coach. Diamond Morris had Miss Wells back in 2017. She says Miss Wells was always a teacher she could talk to and pray with, even going as far as taking kids to church with her if they needed a ride. Morris says Miss Wells is a teacher she'll never forget.
I can't believe it. I'm very in denial at this moment. I just don't want to believe it, but she was very welcoming, very loving. Like I said, she was like a grandma to me. She was like a mom to many. Many people will miss her. Many people love her. I can't believe it.
And coming up all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, I'll have more on Miss Wells' legacy she leaves behind and how she transformed students' lives for the better.
Thank you, Nick. Our hearts go out to, of course, her family, her friends, her students during this time. It is very clear how many lives she touched. Social media just erupting with love.
And you can see how much she's done outside of just being a teacher and an educator in our community, touching the lives of so many people, doing so much more. Truly a loss to our community. Thanks, Nick. This is for you coming up in just a little bit. Attorney Jared Williams addressing the work of his Major Crimes Division and Special Victims Unit. In 2019, DA Williams says the District Attorney's Office only had a 48% success rate at a trial in Richmond County, meaning victims of violent crimes had a slim chance of receiving justice. Since rolling out the Major Crimes Division, their success rate at trial has risen to 80%. Now, Williams also emphasizes that prison is not always the answer and that they must have more programs dedicated to keeping people from entering the court system in the first place.
We need to realize when we should lean on our community partners to help with the problems that a jail cell cannot fix. You can't lock up addiction. You can lock up the person who preys on those who are addicted.
Williams says that in the coming months and years, his team will announce more programs designed to keep kids in the classroom and out of the courthouse.
The report cards are out, but it is not for students.
South Carolina school report cards measures the success of our schools in things like the total number of teachers, student-to-teacher ratios, and safety. According to parent surveys, a large majority feel that their students are safe at school. Edgefield County had the highest rate at 97% of parents saying yes. Allendale was the lowest at 85%.
Aiken, Allendale, McCormick, Barnwell, and Edgefield counties all saw a drop in the number of teachers employed. And every county in our area, except for Allendale, saw an increase in the teacher-to-student ratio. Now, teacher salaries went up across the board, with Aiken County having the highest teacher salary at just under $59,000. To see the full report cards, you can head to our website, WRDW.com. Georgia Senator John Ossoff launching an investigation with the Department of Veterans Affairs. He's looking into the delays of veterans getting their benefits and services. He says there has been an extreme lack of communication with veterans on their pending benefits claims. Last December, our I-team told you about his bill that will help veterans access benefits. The VA was scheduled to finalize them on January 1st of this year. All new on News 12 at 6 o'clock. I'll be digging deeper into just how bad these wait times on appeals can be. Right now in the state of Georgia, every child and early child centers are closing, and hundreds more could close now, leaving Georgia families without a lot of options for child care. Yeah, our State House reporter Abby Kasouras found this issue is getting the attention of state lawmakers.
State lawmakers are looking for ways to support education, especially during developmental years, from birth until kindergarten. They say the current system is outdated. It hasn't been updated since it was created more than 3 decades ago. A new report from the Century Foundation found hundreds of child care centers in Georgia could close. Can Rescue Plan were pulled from programs.
It is a cliff.
A child care cliff. This is Donna Davidson's cry for help.
They came here is that really we have to have a solution that has a large public investment in
The CEO of Easter Seals Children's Services is testifying to state lawmakers about the shortage of early education teachers. Easter Seals is one of the largest care providers in the state. They started this school year with 90 teacher vacancies, a quarter of their positions. It meant that they had to cut their enrollment by 25% for safety reasons.
It is a supply and demand issue to some degree, but it's one that we also have to meet.
Speaker Pro Tem Jan Jones is leading the Early Childhood Education Study Committee, commissioned by the Speaker of the House to collect data and report back to state lawmakers.
What I think we've seen over the years with more working women and more children in childcare is how very critical childcare and pre-K in particular are. One, for workforce development so that women can go back to work.
The committee has been meeting for months. They plan to give their recommendations to the Speaker of the House before the legislative session starts in January. In Atlanta, I'm Abby Kasoris.
The $10 million renovation over at the 5th Street Bridge, well, that has put the spotlight on them to get a national award. You can now vote for the 2023 People's Choice Award from the American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials. Online voting starts now. It ends November 14th, but you can only vote once a day. But you can vote a lot of days. Yes. To cast your vote and look at the other 11 nominated projects, head on over to WRDW.com.
Don't encourage bad behavior over here.
I'm not.
Don't do it.
You can only
We're
vote
trying to win,
once a day, but you can vote
a lot of
days.
All right, a local gym helping its clientele no matter their abilities. Just ahead, how it's helping those with neurological disorders stay in shape and in the right headspace. Riley?
Well, we do have a lot of rain moving in tonight. That will stick around through Thursday morning. More rain Friday, but luckily drying out just in time for the weekend. While that full form.
What makes the Eichholz Law Firm different?
For starters, we've served this community for over 45 years.
And we know that every client is unique.
We consider you friends, neighbors, and family.
We prove it in the way we fight tirelessly for your justice.
Let the Eichholz Law Firm fight for the justice you deserve.
Well, a beautiful view that cold front Saturday. We are going to drop those temps Sunday into early next week and actually getting some mornings back down to the 40s next week.
All right, thanks, Riley. Day One Fitness in Beach Island works to help those battling neurological conditions like Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's, early dementia, MS, and stroke recovery patients.
Our Maria Sellers stops by a class to bring us an inside look.
Y'all have worked so hard. Nice work, guys.
Nancy Carter has been working hard at Day One Fitness for 4 months.
When I was diagnosed with Parkinson's, my neurologist told me about Day One. Let's go, let's go. And it's just been great.
The goal is to improve the quality of life through exercise for people with neurological conditions.
When you're not moving, you get tired, you feel kind of listless, your body just doesn't want to work as well. And so when this makes you get up and do things, and your body's moving and working really hard, and it just makes you feel good the rest of the day.
And she is not the only one who can feel results.
You can really tell that when they get here and they work out, they leave always feeling better than when they showed up that morning.
It isn't about just feeling good. It can also help them regain some motor control.
We're gonna stay there the whole 30 seconds.
So rather than just waiting for a cure that may come in your lifetime or may not, people could really be proactive and take charge of what the future held for them.
It also has social impacts, like sharing information and connecting with others who can relate.
It's just that community and being able to and just feel like somebody else knows what's going on.
It may not always be easy.
We're almost done. We are done with sit-ups, I promise.
But Carter says it's always worth it.
I just feel better. I'm sleeping better. I just feel like I've got more energy to do things throughout the day.
In Beach Island, Maria Sellers on your side.
Day One is also starting a new stroke recovery program. So anyone with one neurological condition who is interested in joining can just call and set up a time to see the gym and try it out for 1 week.
Having your username and password stolen is one thing, but your DNA information? I'm Jamie Tucker, coming up what you need to know about the 23andMe data leak, even if you're not a customer.
Now. It's October at Milton Ruben Toyota.
If you've ever used a DNA service called 23andMe, then your personal data might be at risk. The biotech company recently confirmed user data was compromised.
And our consumer tech reporter Jamie Tucker explains how your DNA information may be on the dark web.
People submit their DNA information to 23andMe to find out their family's origin, who they're related to, and any illnesses they're susceptible to because of genetics. Now that information is apparently for sale on the dark web. 23andMe confirmed profile information was taken that includes usernames, passwords, gender, photo, relatives in common, and the percentage of DNA you share with them.
It's terrifying, and it's one of those things like, this is so new. I can't even fathom right now what the implications are. If I were a part of that compromise, that I would be freaking out right now.
Cybersecurity expert Boyd Clues tells me how hackers could use this information.
Because think about how many password reset questions they have. What's your grandmother's name? What street did you grow up on? That information is actually revealed in those profiles.
23andMe customers submit saliva samples that are sent off to the 23andMe labs, where it is matched with other DNA from around the world. It can also be shared with GED Match that can match DNA with people who haven't submitted samples themselves. It's how police caught the Golden State Killer when his DNA was linked from other relatives and to the crime scene 32 years earlier. So is it possible that your DNA information is at risk because someone in your family spit in a tube?
Ancestry system that I use, it shows all of my family that's connected to me because it's ingrained in that profile. And I would definitely say it is very likely that now not only do they have that person's DNA information, but also relatives.
And it isn't enough just to same password. Clues says 23andMe customers should sign up for credit monitoring ASAP. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
EMEA says that they are continuing to investigate and are working with forensic experts in federal law enforcement. The company says it will notify customers if their information was taken without their permission.
Take a look at this. Augusta University students have a new resource on campus. The new Iris Air photo booth is up and running. It's ready to give students a do-it-yourself professional headshot experience.
Cool.
In just a few touches to a screen and just a few poses, students can get high-quality, career-ready headshots for free.
I think it's fantastic. For a long time, we've heard from graduate students how tough it is to get really nice quality headshots, not just in Augusta, but everywhere around the country. And as well, they have complained about the financial issues with securing good headshots. Hearing all these complaints, I think we wanted to make a difference, and it seems like this photo booth has done exactly that.
How great is this? The photo booth made its debut just 2 weeks ago. It's already been used more than 100 times. Augusta University is the 4th USG school in the state to get one of these booths, thanks to a funded partnership between the Division of Enrollment and Student Affairs and the university libraries, the Graduate SGA, and these career-ready headshots. They are of no cost to faculty, staff, and students.
It just shows you how cool I thought it was, as I just quietly say, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you're
right
like,
beside
oh,
you.
that's cool.
Yeah, it just slipped out because it was so cool.
Will has no filter.
That was really
no
awesome.
filter.
No, we saw that yesterday. But the South Carolina Gamecocks
I've heard about this.
Yeah, the South Carolina Gamecocks are coming off their bye week, giving some of their key players a chance to heal up heading into the second half of their season.
See what happens when I'm not here, Will. News 12 Sports Director Dan Booth joins us now to help us get ready for the Gamecocks showdown with Florida this weekend.
Now, it's been an up and down start to the season for the Gamecocks so far. Part of that has to do with the injuries and everything they've been dealing with. But head coach Shane Beamer says this bye week was good for his team to recharge after their first 5 games and to refocus as SEC play continues. The expectations were high for the Gamecocks coming into 2023, following what most would call 2 successful seasons under Shane Beamer's new leadership. Even though things didn't exactly go according to plan for the Gamecocks in Knoxville 2 weeks ago, they're gearing up for what they hope can be another second-half surge like last year. It all starts by taking care of business against the Florida Gators at Williams-Brice this weekend.
being able to step back and kind of see where we are. You know, we're not happy about being 2 and 3, but we also look at the big picture and what's in front of us still. Let's learn from the past and get better going forward. And that's really what we've done the last 2 years.
Kickoff is set for Saturday at 3:30 in Columbia. If you like high school football at all, stick around because the Under the Lights top 5 plays of the week are coming your way on News 12 at 6 o'clock. That's it for sports. We'll be right back after this quick break.
We are excited to announce that the Medicare Specialist is now 64 Insurance Group. And while we've expanded our portfolio to include other health insurance products, we are still your go-to for all things Medicare. Don't wait until you're 65 to call. Are you 64.com.
Is the look at...
Hey, Chip, what's the matter?
Man, this name change is stressing me out.
Everyone will know we still specialize in Medicare.
Yeah, I know that. What about this?
Are you 64.com?
Setup is underway for the Georgia-Carolina State Fair. This is the centennial year for the festivities, which began in 1923.
And the fun starts on Friday the 13th. That's spooky.
Yeah,
and
it is.
runs through the 22nd at the fairgrounds on Hale Street. There will be fair food, livestock shows, games, and much more. And Riley, folks may want to pack a light jacket if they plan on going to any fair this weekend.
Yeah, the fair weather looks great this weekend. I would say if you're planning to head out to opening night for the Georgia-Carolina State Fair or the Western Carolina State Fair in Aiken is also starting off Friday. Those gates are going to open at 5 o'clock. Remember, Friday, we are going to have the opportunity for some rain. So Friday may end up to not be the best fair day for us. But as we head into Saturday and Sunday, fair weather turns great. It's actually going to feel like fall for us. So Saturday, temperatures by 5 o'clock should be dropping off into the 70s and then 60s later into our Saturday evening, and a much nicer forecast even by Sunday. So if you're heading out to the fair, good weather out there Saturday and Sunday. Here's a look at our radar network. We are starting to bring in some rain across the area, actually starting to see some ground truth on our tower cam, so a few raindrops now hitting the lens. Very light rain at the moment, but rain intensity will start to pick up as we head into late tonight and early Thursday. For that morning commute, make sure you have the rain gear with you. We'll likely hold on to that rain Thursday up until lunchtime, and then more rain Friday.
All right, thanks, Riley. Stick with us. We have more news, weather, and sports coming up after a short break on News 12 at 6 o'clock.